Good morning, boys and girls of the internet. Today is Tuesday, May 22nd, 2018. We vlog number 141. And it's a little bit chilly this morning. We have a little bit of cloudcast. Unfortunately, it's not totally overcast today. The clouds are pretty much moving west. Yesterday, though, we had really good rain. We hadn't had a pretty decent rain in a while. And I was hoping that we'd have more today. When I was looking outside my work window, I saw the clouds. But looking east, the clouds are kind of clearing up, so that kind of disappoints me. Yeah, yesterday we had pretty good rain. Rain and then turned to hail. So I did get some footage of some hail. So let's slip it in here.
Holy shit.
What do you think? Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen some pretty good hail like that. It wasn't like too, substantial, but after a while it did kind of coat, the ground like almost like snow, but so it was pretty substantial. Yesterday though, I took my father to the hospital to have his wrist surgery. I think I mentioned before that he has fallen and he's broken his wrist. He decided to go ahead and do surgery to kind of repair it and put pins in it and whatever, just to kind of get it strengthened. He almost didn't want to do it, but we kind of convinced him to do it. So that's what he did yesterday. And I was in the hospital, in the waiting room, like all damn day yesterday. But surgery went well. All is well and good. So now it just has to recover. So, yeah, go ahead. At any rate, you know how Hollywood, and not just Hollywood, but like, a lot of TV shows and stuff, for a number of years, it can easily be said that they've run out of ideas. Why else would we get so many reboots? Not only are we getting reboots of movies, but movies have been getting remakes of like older movies for a long time. Like, there are certain movies that you don't remake, but then like, how many King Kong movies have we gotten? And it's not a new thing to remake movies, but it seems of late, the last couple of years, they're really rebooting a crap ton of movies. And you see, like, even stuff that, to me, I guess, is not that old, like, all of the Disney live-action movies that are made off of cartoons, like Jungle Book and Beauty and the Beast. To me, those aren't old movies. Well, Jungle Book is a little older, but Beauty and the Beast is not that old. They're doing a live-action Lion King. They're gonna do an Aladdin movie. They're gonna do Mulan. And it's kind of ridiculous. It's like easy, not easy. It's still got, take production and stuff like that, but it's a cash cow for them. They pretty much, unless it's like a really inept film, they're pretty much guaranteed to make their money back. But in the vein of remakes, of movie remakes, we also get television. Television loves to remake things, or not just remake, but reboot. Hell, we got like a couple years ago, we got a new like Miami Vice, new Hawaii Five-0. What else did they come back with? And that's not to mention movies that were made based off older TV shows. Some of those could be good. Like, I enjoyed The A-Team. That was a good movie. I like the old A-Team. Then, of course, you have, like, movies of old things that from the 80s or, like, my childhood that it's usually precious to me, like the Transformers. Now, how many Transformers they got now? 5? That's how many movies they got? And as entertaining the first one is, and the second one was pretty good, they just started getting meh. And then what they did with the Ninja Turtles, don't even get me started there. God, I hate those movies. But they made a lot of money. Kids loved them. So they're going to keep making that crap. Thank God nobody loved that G.I. Joe movie. But they did make 2 of them, didn't they? I could have sworn they made 2 G.I. Joe live action movies. But that didn't last very long. So thank God that didn't go over so well. But speaking of come back with things from my childhood that are I'm nostalgic for, precious to me, and are being remade. Thundercats Roar. Right. You may have heard of this. There's going to be a new TV series, new cartoon coming out sometime next year, 2019, called Thundercats Roar. And it's a reimagining, remake of Thundercats. And I'm like, are they really that out of ideas that they're, remaking these shows from like the 80s and 90s and stuff like that? There's even rumoring that they're making an Ed and Eddie, like a new series. And I even saw a thing that they want to do like Rocko's Modern Life. There's always new Ninja Turtle cartoons, so that doesn't bother me. That's always going to be a thing. But there's certain series that, unless you handle it in a certain way that is kind of respectful to the original, I think, in my opinion, you're kind of stepping on a lot of toes there. Now, I get it. This new Thundercats cartoon, and I'm not even going to put footage or images from it here because I don't want to insult my channel that bad. Because it looks bad. The animation is just horrid. It's, for lack of a better term, it's Steven Universe. Have you ever seen Steven Universe? They all look like, as one person pointed it out, they look like balloon animals. And it just is horrible. They wanted to make it a lighthearted like comedy, but yet still have like fluid animation and maybe some action. I'm assuming they're going to put some action, but it's going to be comedic, and I'm assuming it's going to have no consequences, nothing of drama, nothing of. It's going to be like most cartoons nowadays. It's probably going to be very fast-paced, made for ADHD freaking kids and attention deficit disorder kids, and people, kids that they can't pay attention to a show for more than like 2 minutes unless like something, crazy and zany and wacky's going on. That if something has a story and a plot that they have to pay attention to, these kids can't fucking pay attention to it or something. That's what I always get out of a lot of these shows. That or because they have a certain tone to them, I also call them stoner shows. There's a lot of these shows that a lot of stoners freaking watch, and it's popular for them. Anyways, but I get it. This show is targeted towards children, which I would be a lot more angrier at if we didn't get that other Thundercats show that came out in 2011. That was a pretty good reimagining. I kind of enjoyed that show, only because it knew that if anybody was an original fan of Thundercats, they're older now. And if they're older, they're a little more mature, and they could probably handle. I mean, it wasn't like a mature content thing, but it was taken a little more seriously. I distinctly remember there was one episode of like a where like Lionel, and what was interesting about the show, it was a totally reimagining, and they made like Lionel like a younger, like teenager, and he had to kind of like grow into his character, which was pretty neat. As opposed to the original show where, yeah, he was a teenager, but he was like thrust into like a man's body. That sounds dirty, but he still had kind of the mentality of a teenager. But he had responsibility of a leader of the Thundercats. But in the 2011 version, he was a teenager and he wasn't really a leader yet. He had to kind of like, it was like a quest, like a journey, and it was pretty neat. On his journey, I remember there was one episode where he comes across a race with these little like pixies or something. I think they were pixies. And the thing about these like little pixies is that they only live for one day, and he got to see kind of like a whole like generation, a whole like growing up and getting old and dying of a race in like one day, and how they handled it. And it was kind of a mature subject matter. Like, it was kind of heartbreaking. So I mean, that was pretty interesting. And they had different episodes like that. Unfortunately, I never finished that series. It didn't go over very well. Like, they only made like the 3 seasons of it, and I just never got a chance to finish it. I watched like the first season. One of these days I will get around to finishing, because I did enjoy it for the most part. Now, and of course, I especially liked it because they put a little more anime style, and the animation quality was pretty good, very sharp and clean looking animation. Now, going back to the whole nostalgia thing, I don't mind if they want to like reboot something and like remake something for a new generation. It's kind of a cheap way out, because you're just taking existing property and doing with it what you will, and there's already a property that exists. You don't have to worry about inventing characters. You don't have to worry about inventing a backstory. You just get it and make new things with it. So that's kind of cheap. But then again, like, you kind of, if you're around my age, if you're in your 30s, and you remember stuff from the 80s that you enjoyed as a child, I recommend keeping that stuff in your nostalgia and don't ever dredge it up again. There might be some people out there that enjoy, getting some like their VHS tapes of those old shows and popping them in and enjoying them. But there was a time where I kind of did an experiment, and I kind of ruined some of my childhood for myself. A couple years ago, Netflix decided to put all of the original Transformers TV show, old cartoon, on for streaming. And I started watching it. I'm like, yeah, Transformers. I started watching shit every goddamn time it was on TV when I was a kid. And holy shit, it didn't age well at all. Now, being an adult, you can look back at it and say, okay, the whole point of the Transformers TV show was simply to sell toys. Like, they just came out with episodes just to kind of show a new Transformer and to sell it. That was the whole point of it. It was just a giant half-hour advertisement. Or 20-minute, minus the commercials. So it was an advertisement with commercials in it. But when you watch it, not only is the animation horrific, there's a lot of times where like it's just really badly drawn, and like so many mistakes, and there's scaling issues, and they did it on the cheap and dirty, really. And a lot of times also, the stories made no goddamn sense a lot of times. They were really, kind of bottom of the barrel type, lowest common denominator type thing, where they didn't really. They're kind of shitty. So, me now knowing that, and like, you know, I stopped watching after like, you know, 10 episodes of like original, and I'm like, this is too much. I can't handle this. I can't watch. You know, this is ruining my memories of Transformers. My enjoyment of Transformers as a kid is being ruined now because I can't watch this crap. It's garbage. And, you know, kind of made me sad. I'm all like if I had a kid right now, oh my god, it's freaking bright. Like, what would happen if I had a kid right now and if I wanted to show him, like, this is a Transformers show I used to watch as a kid. My kid would look at me and go like, Dad, you're freaking crazy. This show's terrible. But I'm just like, son, your shows nowadays are terrible, so don't even be talking. Those cartoons nowadays are fucking terrible. So I don't want to do that with Thundercats. Like, I kind of don't want to go back and watch it again, like the original series, because, I mean, in the back of my mind, I know there's a lot of parts of it that were bad. Like the main character Lionel, he was a bad character. I didn't know that, but I don't want to watch it and like confirm that in my head. I just want to remember all the good times I had with the old Thundercats show. Same thing with like G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe was fucking terrible. You know, but it was made to sell toys. But I don't want to watch it, the original series right now. So we'll ruin it. So getting back to, you know, these remakes of like, you know, making a new Thundercats. I kind of would have liked them to do kind of what they did with the 2011 and maybe just make something for the audience that grew up with Thundercats, because, you know, these kids today, yeah, you know, they have access to the internet and they can probably find the original series and watch it if they want to. That's not a problem, but for the most part, most of these kids, they don't know what the original is, so when they see this new Thundercats series, that will be their Thundercats. And that's a really shitty, you know, injection of Thundercats for these kids. Like, it's not... It's gonna be really bad. Like, people are gonna, like... Kids would be running around, like, you know, quoting the damn show and doing stupid freaking jokes about it or something. Or, well, you know, it's gonna be... There's so many stupid ass jokes in it. I don't know. Comedy in these cartoons nowadays, I just... Because it shows that I'm old, but I just don't... I don't know. So, none of that. I mean, like I said, I'm not gonna put any images or anything of the show in this, but if you go and like find like the teaser trailer for it on YouTube, I'm not even gonna link it. You go find it yourself if you want to find it. There's like they like talk to the producer guy, and he's like saying like how much he used to love Thundercats and he used to love the old show and watch it with his older brother. And then there was a part where he was all like, "This is the Thundercats set. You know, I knew that the whole show, the intro was amazing. We had to like make another amazing intro for the show. This is the Thundercats that I want to watch." And I'm all, fuck you, dude. That's the Thundercats you want to watch? You're the only motherfucker in the world that wants to watch this shit. And I'm glad I'm not the only person of that opinion, because apparently, I mean, that video alone and also all kinds of people online, they're bad-mouthing the shit out of the show. They're talking all kinds of crap. I guarantee you most of those people are of my generation or you know, give or take. And, you know, they know of the old series. And they even know of the 2011 series. And they even look at this and like, go, that is some garbage. It's really quite bad. It's kind of insulting, actually. Again, I know it's not for me. The show is not aimed towards me. It's not aimed for the people who loved it, you know, as a child. I get that. But, you know, if you want to make, like, this, like, zany, wacky cartoon with, like, cat characters and stuff and make it animation style, make your own goddamn show. Don't make Thundercats. Is that too hard to ask? You know, like, you're already writing stories for it. Call them different names. You know, and people might go, this is very much like Thundercats. You know, like, or maybe like get like the Thundercats kids or something like that. Like, have like Lionel and Chitara have like their kids. You know, have the Wily Kit and Wily Cat. You know, they're adults and they have kids, but like, don't show them. Just have new characters in that world. You know what I mean? So that might be a show that they could have done, and I would have been fine with it because they're not stepping on what came before it. You know. I don't know. I might sound like a butthurt, like old fanboy of the show, but it's just unnecessary. It's really unnecessary. So I'm blabbing now. That's my thoughts. I'm ranting and raving about this crap, and I hope they don't go through with the show. I hope like all these people, like these negative comments, affects them and they don't go through with it. I really do. Number one, that guy, that producer dude, that hipster ass top knot that he had on his head, I want to just that alone, and that he's insulting Thundercats as much as he is. I want to grab him by the top knot and slam his face into the pavement. I'm not a violent guy at all. Anyways, I'll leave you with that. Everybody have a good day. I'll talk to y'all later. And I love you. I don't love this Thundercats guy who's making a new show. Fuck you. Alright, take it easy.